Romeo Lavia is Chelsea's best and most important midfielder. Over the past year, Lavia has become a bit of a forgotten man in football. The season was plagued by injuries and he only played 32 minutes in the whole of last season. But after his performance on the opening day against Man City, he's finally starting to show why Chelsea paid £53 million for him at just 19 years of age, and why he was my preference over Caicedo last summer. Luckily, Chelsea were able to sign both, but in this video I'll explain why he is the most important midfielder if Chelsea are to have any chance for success this season. Maresca has coached Lavia at academy level, so he already has an idea on how he'll use him, and he used Lavia in all of Chelsea's pre-season games. Now let's look into why I believe he'll be a key player for Chelsea this season. First of all, we need to look at how Maresca wants his number 6 to play. As we saw at Leicester and during pre-season, Maresca likes to play two different formations depending on whether his team is in possession or out of possession. Out of possession, his team set up in a 4-3-3 formation. This becomes a 3-2-4-1 when in possession. When in possession, one of the fullbacks comes into midfield to form a double pivot, meaning the two other midfielders will push up to form a box midfield. The aim of this is to create numerical superiority in the middle of the pitch. Defensively, this offers better numbers when dealing with transitions. Maresca likes to attack with 5 and defend with 5 to create balance. This is something that Antonio Conte likes to do in his 3-4-3 formation, although he isn't as obsessed with controlling possession. So what does this mean for the number 6 in the system? Maresca wants the number 6 to be technically secure and capable of playing under pressure. The two players in front of the defence must be comfortable in tight spaces and playing in traffic. They also need to not only be good at retaining possession, but capable of playing forward passes and progressing play. Defensively, a midfielder in Maresca's system needs to be an aggressive presser off the ball, as Maresca looks to dominate possession. It's very important that the midfielders are able to defend transitions and counter-attacks. This is done by immediately being aggressive and pressing the opponent once the ball has been lost to try and win it back as soon as possible. However, if this is not possible, the player needs to be intelligent enough to know when to drop back and cover the spaces between the lines. Out of Lavia, Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo, Romeo Lavia is the best option as a true number 6. Enzo is the most creative out of the three and really good at progressive passing. Caicedo is the most tenacious and the best tackler and is underrated at what he does going forward. However, Lavia is the best option for the deepest midfielder because for me he is the most complete and combines the strengths of both Caicedo and Enzo. He is capable of progressive passing just like Enzo, but he's more athletic. He's also capable of tackling like Caicedo, but he doesn't lose the ball as much and is more accurate with his passing. Enzo is not the most athletic player and can sometimes be a liability defensively, especially in transition. Here you can see how Enzo struggles to defend this transition against Wolves, which led to them scoring their second goal. On the other hand, Caicedo is a good tackler, but he's not technically as secure. He can sometimes lose the ball in key areas of the pitch and gets dispossessed most due to the lack of concentration or his passing ability letting him down. Against Wolves, we saw Caicedo have a bad first half, and here you can see how easily he loses the ball before Wolves go on to score. Ideally, in this situation, Caicedo should have scanned more and released the ball first time to Enzo, but he ended up taking too long and gets the ball taken off of him by Bellegarde. This is why Lavia is the best option to play at the base of midfield in a single pivot or beside an inverted fullback. At Southampton, we saw him mostly play in a double pivot beside James Ward-Prowse, but he also played as a single pivot at the base of midfield in a 3-5-2 under Nathan Jones. In this system, he was able to show his press resistance and athletic ability when defending. He averaged 2.1 tackles per game with an 89% tackle success rate. He also averaged 1 interception per game. Going forward, he had an 86% pass success rate with around 50% of his passes being forward passes. For comparison, in that season, Declan Rice had an 88% pass success rate and Rodri had a 91% pass success rate. Considering that Lavia was playing for a Southampton side that went on to get relegated, this is really impressive. We've also started seeing his excellent ball retention ability at Chelsea. During the pre-season game against Celtic, they applied a really aggressive press every time Lavia would get the ball, but as you can see here, Lavia was able to consistently protect the ball and find the free man in midfield. Against Man City, we saw the best of Lavia. He played as a single pivot with Enzo and Caicedo as the two number 8s. This placed more pressure and responsibility on Lavia to retain possession and progress play. Lavia was exceptional at this throughout the game against Man City. Here you can see he receives the ball with his back to play under pressure from Kevin De Bruyne Losing the ball here would have given a clear chance for Man City to score, but he shows confidence and composure to shield the ball away and take it on the half turn before finding a teammate. Lavia finished this game with a 91% pass success rate. He won possession 6 times and made 3 tackles whilst creating 1 chance. What makes Lavia a potentially key player in this team is his ability to not only retain possession, but he's capable of impacting play close to goal. This is his heat map during his season at Southampton. You can see that he looks to be involved all over the pitch. Now take a look at this action during pre-season where he drives into the box and wins a penalty, or this action against City in pre-season where he runs back to stop a counter-attack before providing a great ball to set up Noni Madueke. This play sums up Romeo Lavia. Aggressive off the ball, but on the ball he's able to impact the play with his passing quality. Another strength of Lavia is his long passing ability. During pre-season and against City we were able to see him switch the play and pick up teammates. His dribbling and progressive carrying from deep is also very helpful for his team. At Southampton he completed an average of 1 dribble per game with a 68% dribble success rate. At the start of the video we mentioned what Maresca looks for in his midfielders: ball retention in tight spaces, aggressive pressing and good at progressing play. Out of Chelsea's 3 main midfielders, Lavia is the most well-rounded and most suited for these requirements, which is why I think he'll be a key player for Maresca's system. This is of course if he doesn't get injured. Despite playing the most minutes of any teenager in the 22-23 season, he's been very prone to injury since joining Chelsea. He's already missed 3 games this season due to injury. It's also not guaranteed that Maresca will use Lavia ahead of Enzo and Caicedo. They both cost over 100 million and are older than Lavia. Due to the politics of this situation, Maresca may face more pressure from the board to play them ahead of Lavia. Maresca probably won't play all 3 at once because this midfield would lack goals. It's likely that Cole Palmer will be the number 10 in front of 2 midfielders to provide more balance, meaning one of the 3 will miss out. The only possible solution would be to play Caicedo at right back and have him invert into midfield to join Lavia. Palmer and Enzo would then push up to complete the box midfield. However, I doubt this will happen. I believe the only thing that can stop Lavia having a breakout season at Chelsea is injuries. For such a young player, he plays with such maturity and calmness and bravery that you would expect from much older players. If you got this far, please consider liking and subscribing and let us know your opinion on Lavia and who you believe is Chelsea's best midfielder.